Since Sanskrit and Tamil are separate languages, did they develop separately in different parts of ancient India? If so, why did the Chola kings use Sanskrit later on? The problem now is that we don't really know about the origins of these of India's languages. There's very little research that's been done. There are hardly any high quality linguists in India at all. The whatever few linguists we have are of the caliber of Iravath and Mahadevan, who come up with theories out of a hat. So we don't have any research, any real proper research being done on linguistics in India. Our historians have no idea when our languages developed, how they developed, in what form they developed, what came before Vedic Sanskrit. There must have been an older form of Sanskrit, Proto-Sanskrit. And linguists talk about this Proto-Indo-European language, which is something they have imagined out of their dreams. There is no evidence any such language actually existed. I think if there was a Proto-Indo-European language, it must have been Proto-Sanskrit, pre-Vedic Sanskrit. So we don't know. And what about Tamil? When did Tamil evolve? When did it originate? We don't have the faintest clue. And therefore, we have this contest that goes on between the people of Tamil Nadu and other people about which language is older. The oldest known language in the world is Vedic Sanskrit, by the way, and there is no evidence Tamil is anywhere close to it. It is a possibility that Tamil may be similar in age as Vedic Sanskrit, but we don't have any evidence of that. It is actually even possible that languages like Telugu may be older than Tamil. Okay, so Tamil is not the language that represents the whole of South India, but we know that it's an ancient language. It's one of India's classical languages. We don't know because there is no research about this, so we don't know when these languages developed, how old they are. It is clear that there were the Indian subcontinent was a very complex environment. There are clearly multiple language families that came out of this region. We know from genetic data that the Indian subcontinent is the original founder zone of the out of Africa migration. It is from India, from the Indian subcontinent, that the entire rest of the world was populated. So India is clearly the birthplace of all these ancient languages. But we don't know when the seed of Sanskrit was formed, when the seed of Tamil emerged. We don't know these things. So I can't answer, nobody can answer as of today, right? Now, why did the Chola kings use Sanskrit? So like I have said many times, Sanskrit is India's civilizational language. Today's Dravidian parties have brainwashed the people of southern India, especially Tamil Nadu, into believing that there is the Aryan Dravidian divide, and the ancient Tamil culture was a secular culture, a non-Hindu culture, all that nonsense. Absolute nonsense, absolute garbage, absolute rubbish. The Cholas were Tamil-speaking people. The Chola dynasty is one of the longest reigning dynasties in known history. It was in power for 1500 years, 1500 years. Incredible, isn't it? And they, even though they were Tamil speakers, when they conquered the entirety of Southeast Asia, they propagated Hinduism and Sanskrit throughout these regions. They did not propagate Tamil. We do have Tamil in Malaysia today. We do have Tamil spoken in Singapore today. It is because of later Tamil migrations during the British colonial era. It is not because of the Cholas. Look at the names of people in Indonesia. They have Sanskrit names, not Tamil names. Look at the names of ancient cities and kingdoms in Southeast Asia, the Champa kingdom, other kingdoms. Look at the names of their kings. They are all Indian Hindu names, Sanskrit names, right? So throughout the Indian subcontinent in ancient days, we had the two language system. Everybody would learn their mother tongue, and everybody would learn the civilizational language, Sanskrit. And Sanskrit always took precedence as the high language, as the prestige language, as the civilizational language, as the language that bound the entire civilization together. From Balochistan and Sindh all the way to the Philippines. It was one civilization. It was one culture that was practiced throughout this region. and the glue that bound everything together was what we call Hinduism today, and it was the Sanskrit language. And that's why the Cholas used Sanskrit, and that's why they propagated Sanskrit everywhere they conquered.